So if you're anybody that knows anybody that plays video games, you probably know about Stellar Blade coming out to PS5 very soon. And a lot of people are excited about it. There's been a ton of new gameplay because the demo was released. A lot of people are playing it. And the reason that a lot of people are interested in this game is because it's one of the only games out there right now that are willing to emphasize on a woman's anatomy, try to make her look as beautiful as possible, and even revolve the Souls-like combat, from what I'm hearing, around her accentuated figure. Now, the gameplay from what I hear is really good. The characters are very interesting and the graphics are amazing. There are a lot of reasons to play this game. Here's the model. Now, a lot of people don't know this, either that or they do know this and they're just cruel. There's a misunderstanding out there because the model, or the in-game character that was scanned after the real-life model, is being body-shamed. And the game is also being heavily criticized by you-know-who's, crazy people who just don't like attractive characters in video games. But this complaint over the characters and the way that they look, they come from one of the most ridiculous and out-of-pocket places you can possibly think of. Check it out right here from Grums. So IGN calls Stellar Blade protagonist a sexualized doll and says the creator has never seen a living woman. So the IGN writer who's talking about the game in an article just decides to throw a jab at the creator of the game and make a baseless assumption out of absolutely nowhere. Grum says the not real doll, the creator's wife, and team artist. So guess what? IGN was wrong about that. So here's the scan, the body scan of the character. This is the model. She's a model. South Korea. So they scanned her for the in-game character that you can see on the right. Okay, she's got accentuated womanly figure. Now, guess who this is? This is the creator's wife. And guess what? She's also an artist on the game. So IGN is wrong. Big surprise. There are so many funny comments on this. Dan Vash says IGN is gay. At least IGN is consistent and criticizes all sexuality in gaming, right? No, except they forgot Baldur's Gate 3. I guess they decided not to criticize that one as much. And this person says a pic of Ben Asola, the author of the article, seems much more likely he has never seen a living woman. I think it'd be hard to see a woman when you have those things over your eyes. Absolutely. Is this seriously the guy who wrote it? This is so interesting. It says, laughable, IGN revises history, pretends SJWs never trashed Bayonetta or Nier Automata for being over-sexualized, just so they can go after Stellar Blade's Eve with the racist trope of calling Asian women over-sexualized dolls. So this writer, this dude who posts silly pictures of himself online, is making accusations about the creator, saying that that dude has basically never been with a woman. Like, what kind of crazy thing is that to say, even as a journalist? I mean, are these even articles that they're writing anymore, or are they just personal Twitter posts? Because that's what this seems like. This is not a professionally written article. It says, it's not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B from Nier Automata, it inspires an entire generation of cosplayers. Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland, a doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman. That is probably the biggest fail of the week so far by a writer, because that is exactly what is happening here. They're trying to cover up history with Bayonetta and Nier Automata, their criticisms of those games. This is the same IGN who just the other day wrote that you can't have a remake of Resident Evil 5 because we can't shoot African zombies. Black zombies. No, we can't do that. These people are special. Grums has another interesting post related to this, and it's hilarious because it paints a very vivid picture of a world in which people do not like attractive women, and then another world where people are normal and follow their natural traits. This is from Super Ninja. Saw this reposted by my ninja and was curious if DOA, the fighting game, came out with costumes like this from the start. How would you feel about buying the game? Not even original outfits included of characters, just stuff like this, or should it be tamer? You know, you have Xbox on one end of the spectrum saying that they can't make females attractive anymore. I mean, i.e. Fable. You've seen that game or any of its gameplay, one of the worst looking female characters in existence. And then you have Sony, PlayStation, Shift Up, and those game companies who are actually trying to make video games that are appealing to people, not just visually, but gameplay-wise. I hear that the gameplay is great. I've been watching gameplay all day. I mean, all this community manager is doing is comparing outfits from Stellar Blade to DOA, just talking that gamer talk. Not being a crazy person trying to ruin a video game studio, trying to accuse all gamers of being white and male for some reason, as if that relates somehow to the situation. But if you thought that it ended there, it does not end there, because even if Team Mutant Ninja community managers are out there just being normal people as opposed to the Compulsion Games community managers who think that Asians are white adjacent. We also have ResetEra, who is having a meltdown over Stellar Blade. Oh, these are some interesting photos from Grums. Always on point, my man. I live alone and I'd still be embarrassed to have this on my TV. That intro sequence is so effing bad. It's just so many elements of fetishistic, infantile nonsense. What the H with that slow motion? It's sad. I guess that's what it comes down to. There's really talented people working really hard to make a game that glorifies a flagrantly misogynistic depiction of its cast. It's just sad. Once again, the model and the video game character are really not that far apart at all. Maybe some widening of the hips, but that's really it. Well, let's check out another one. I am not participating much in this thread, but I am reading it, but I had to write Stellar Blade. I haven't been disgusted at a game in a good while. This is bad, especially given the developers themselves and the gender war in South Korea. It is just aggravating. And then this person said, agreed, I tend to be ambivalent with sexualized character designs in games, but everything about Stellar Blade is just beyond embarrassing and gross. Like, what about it? It has Souls-like combat, an attractive female character as the main playable character, and also a cast of female characters as well as male characters. It's not just women in this game. There's sick monsters that they fight against too, like some pretty unique designs. This person says, kinda hate how it's Sony funded and published. I feel like it wouldn't be getting anywhere nearly as much media attention as it is if it wasn't. Eve is an over-sexualized character. It's just so funny because they're dunking on themselves simply due to the fact that Eve's actress looks very much like the video game character. So they're basically body shaming this woman. They don't even understand who the creator is, who the creator's artists and peers are. They have no idea who the person playing Eve in Stellar Blade looks like. It's insane. They're just running with baseless assumptions, writing it in articles and trying to spread it to the masses to discourage people from buying this game. What's number 3? Probably due to wanting to be closer to a developer who has a very successful GAAS under their belt. I think we are going to see Sony prioritize how to make money with certain titles. I won't be surprised if Shift Up and Sony don't do more collabs. Heck, when Sony partnered up for Stellar Blade, the CEO of Shift Up bought everyone there a PS5. And that's true. I just saw a picture of that. They bought everybody in their office a PS5 so that they could enjoy the game, not just make it. That's so cool, but they don't know how to be cool. These people who were complaining about this game and complaining about the studio, including people at IGN, a gaming news website, they don't know how to be cool. And that's why IGN hasn't been cool for many years now, while Stellar Blade's Shift Up company are doing amazing things. This person said, I want to believe that Sony was fulfilling a contract that they won't work with Shift Up again after it came out that they were a misogynistic developer who punished women working for them. For supporting women's rights. Where did they get this from? But unfortunately, we all know they probably don't give a F. All right, number 4. Wow, just wow. This is so much more ridiculous and worse than I even thought this game would go for. I see people elsewhere being like, the sexualization isn't even that bad. There's no voyeuristic camera angles. And I am convinced I do not inhabit the same world as them. Here's my question to all of these people who are upset about this fictional video game character. What is so wrong with a woman being attractive, number 1? And number 2, what is wrong with men being attracted to attractive females? Is that not a natural trait of males and females to be attracted to the opposite sex? After all of the successful game sales over the course of decades, where we've seen successful video games that have attractive playable female characters as well as supporting female characters, why is it only now that all of this is becoming such a huge issue to these people, these writers who claim that these creators have never been with a woman, as if that has anything to do at all with making a video game? It's this hatred that comes from out of nowhere. These people who are in charge of these news websites and these gaming companies who are just complaining about white male gamers, complaining about attractive females. I mean, these are children in adult bodies. And it doesn't help that the people at Kotaku are noticing how much fun people are having with this game. So they have to come in and stomp on all of our fun. Alyssa Mercanti from Kotaku herself, when this person said unfiltered artistic freedom and the most they can apparently aspire to is horrification of a main character. So they're saying that they turned Eve, the main Stellar Blade female, into a whore by making her look attractive like that. So she has more than a B-cup set of you-know-whats, and then she has a bigger set of hips than usual. These people are upset about this. Still haven't heard anything about the gameplay, just gooners freaking out over idle animations. I can tell you right now, the gameplay is awesome from what I'm seeing, and it looks just like a bunch of other Souls-like games that I've played, and I have fun with those. Are they going to play the game or just stand there and honk off Man, these people are so upset. And look what Alyssa says in response. Boobs move that way. Oh, she is so upset. Ever since Vex Electronica pointed out her tattoo to the world, she has not been happy since. She's been on a rampage against any video game that Grums or anybody associated with him are happy about. And these are the people who attack these games. It's the people who defend Sweet Baby Inc., the people who defend Black Girl Gamers. They're all upset about this game. They want to demoralize people from playing fun games. They want to get people to only buy sad, depressing games with ugly people all the time. And it doesn't matter how much proof you bring to them. It doesn't matter how much gameplay you show them or how much reasonable logic you use. They're not going to be happy with this because this game being made and this game making money means that their stupid, pathetic games don't make money. And the more that they try to get people not to buy it, it's probably going to backfire even harder because I don't think people are going to give up on this game. Not many games are like Stellar Blade right now. No one's really making an effort, and those who do are getting beaten down by the mainstream media and these screaming people in a field. But you're going to have to try a lot harder if you're going to get people disinterested in Stellar Blade. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't had the chance, share it with your friends and like it. That would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Later. Meow, meow.